3 days inside Motoverse 2025. A return to an old love I never thought I would go back to. Engines, dust, nostalgia, and a Goa I haven't experienced in years. Hi, I'm Sadish Kamath, and I'm going to take you inside the Motoverse for the Hindu. The Motoverse happened last weekend, and this is what happened when I stepped back into a world I had sworn I'd never get back to. Ironic considering I've done my fair share of long-haul cross-country biking. Chennai to Mumbai via Bangalore and Goa, 1800 kilometers of breeze, highways and clean air. And then the return trip a few years later, again over a week because I had to take the motorcycle back. And my stress-related backaches disappeared magically. And then the big one, Rajasthan during demonetization. Udaipur to Jaipur to Pokhran to Jaisalmer and back to Udaipur in 3 days, 1600 kilometers riding along potholes and trenches, enough trauma to make me promise myself I'd never swing a leg over a motorcycle again. Yet here I was walking out of North Goa airport excited like it was my first time. 3 days for the love of all things motorcycling, the Motoverse. On arrival, the folks at Royal Enfield handed me the key to a Hunter 350 the night before. 11 liters in the tank to explore Goa during the Motoverse. The perfect Goa bike. Whether I was dodging potholes or slicing through them, the suspension took most of the brunt. Compact, nimble, easy to flick through traffic. I was all set. It's not every day you see rapper Hanumankind gloving up like a prize fighter before mounting a bike. From Garage Cafe, he led a pack of riders up to Vagator Hilltop, the venue for what would become 3 days of controlled chaos. Helmets gleaming, machines revving, a convoy worthy of a George Miller storybook. Even Siddharth Lal, Royal Enfield's chief, rolled in with the swagger of a man who bleeds motor oil. Hundreds of riders took over Goa's roads as locals stopped to film the spectacle. For a moment, we weren't on NH66 or sleepy Goan lane. We were in our own cinematic universe. A pilgrimage, a shared beat. Vagator Hilltop had morphed into a giant carnival. A moto mela, a biker's Comic Con or Disneyland. Stalls everywhere. Vintage jackets, touring gear, bizarre accessories, food counters that smelled like every Goan kitchen I've ever loved. There were mozzarella sandwiches from Arjuna, the perfect hothead pizza at Como Agua Pizzeria. So there was plenty to eat and drink for foodies. At the heart of the hilltop, riders defied physics at the Maut Ka Kuan, racing motorcycles around a wooden well as if gravity was optional. The big showcases drew their own crowds. New Royal Enfield motorcycles gleamed under spotlights. The new apparel lines, the graphic-forward comic helmet, the upgraded Motowave X2 Bluetooth unit, the exclusive Motoverse Collection were laid out for riders to poke, prod and test. I rode out sporting Valon Moto Aviators to explore my favorite haunts before returning to base for the games. Day 1 ended with Hanumankind revealing he was getting back on stage after surgery, though he had been advised rest. He wanted to take it easy, but this was an offer too good to refuse. The crowd of thousands made it worth his while as he kept the momentum going with a high-energy act, sweating so much he took his shirt off.
When life is simple, you're a person, dog. You act like an animal morning. Family speaking a language, dog. You don't understand, you were born in. So nobody needed an fairness now. We need some balance and order. But you know that's never the case. Never a chance that they chasing their ways. Never a choice that they giving to you. That would never be just in the face. We sick for the solid, that's what I think. Don't want to follow it, that's what I mean. I swear they discover we spang today, but we make it tomorrow. Things are the same.
Haikuram Bridge had just warmed up the crowd. Every evening, artists performed on different stages. On day 2, I got Dot and the Syllables to charm the indie fans with jazzy vocals after a 10-minute fashion show with models showing off the apparel range. After a bit of Aman Negi, I walked over to the main stage to catch DJ Diplo, who had the crowds vibing to bhangra beats and EDM. A trip to Goa is incomplete without a visit to Panaji, where IFFI happens at the same time. So at the end of day 2, I biked my way 22 kilometers to hang with my filmmaker friend Q, who threw a party at Praka Prazares to celebrate the distribution deal of his new film, Deshlai, also called Zuel. Fellow filmmakers Vishal Bhardwaj and Kiran Rao dropped by to wish him luck. On the final day after watching Moto Polo, where a local Bangalore team beat a pro-level international team, a friend and I decided to ride all the way north to Moor Gym to check out the hippie scene. we found it replaced by mainstream candlelit dinner shacks charging 1500 per person for an inside table and 2000 for a table by the beach. We rode back to Chapora to chill by the bustling dive scene around Darlings. Just before returning the bike next day on reserve, with 4 liters left after 140 kilometers, I had a moment to myself. Lunch by the sea at Purple Martini in Anjana. Somewhere between the new scale model displays and the roar of dyno tests, I realized how much I had missed motorcycle. And I was home again. This is Sudesh Kamath signing off for The Hindu from Motoverse 2025 Goa.